Welcome everybody to the late night show, the 10 p.m. show. So this is going to be a little bit different. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I have no idea how it's going to work, but here's where we are. Donald Trump put out tonight, hey, join me. I am going to be basically live tweeting, live truthing, whatever you want to call it, the facts about Kamala Harris's speech tonight. So I've got Truth Social open. I've got the Democrat National Convention open, which is thus far since I've decided to basically do this. I've tuned in at about an hour ago. I've been watching it. It's been one big lie fest, absolute lie fest. And then now they've got the audacity for the first time that since this thing has been open, everybody in the audience is wearing American flags and yelling, USA, USA. I mean, it's absolutely stupid, absolutely sick. I can't believe they're going through this charade of trying to be or pretend as though there's some kind of patriots. Let's listen into some of this crap until, she starts coming on.
Extraordinary. It's life. Those nights reminded me who I was fighting for. People just trying to make it. Kamala Harris knows who she's fighting for, too.
And they keep talking about patriotism and how she does so well with veterans and how she's going to, keep America strong. Like she's actually done something. It's insane.
Every family. She's lived a life like ours. She knows us. Donald Trump doesn't know you at all. You think he understands that when your car breaks down, you can't get to work? No. His first word was probably chauffeur. You think he's ever had to take items out of the cart before checking out? Hell, you think he's ever been to a grocery store? That's what the chauffeur is for. But Kamala Harris, she gets us. She sees us. She is us. Look, we've all lived through a lot of history over the past few years. Floods and fires, an attempted coup, a plot, and a pandemic. It's exhausting. We don't know what the next 4 years will bring. But what we do know is this. Through it all, your life won't stop. You're going to have to get to work, pick up the kids, and pay your bills. And then one day, when you're just trying to get everyone out the door, a news alert goes off.
Yeah, you can't listen to this crap too much. It infects your mind. You can't talk about it. So I'd rather talk to you until Trump starts tweeting or whatever he's going to be doing. Hopefully he's got a whole team with him and they're ready to go after these people because it's just insane. I'd rather get your comments. Unless you guys want to listen to that. Yeah, this woman is dumb. I mean, if you sit through this and listen to some of this, I'll put it back on. You can hear some of this. They absolutely make no sense.
I know. In a crisis, we need someone strong enough to come up with a plan, to tell the truth, and to bring people together. Right now, before the crisis, is when we get to choose.
They don't make any sense. They're talking in bumper stickers. This woman has already been the vice president for 3.5 years, and they're acting like she's just running for office for the first time.
I know who I want as our commander-in-chief. America, let's choose Kamala Harris.
This is crazy. But they gave her all of about 2.5 minutes, and now they're going to play some music in between. Guess who one of their big guests are? Right before Kamala Kamala, whatever, comes out, they're going to bring out Adam Kinzinger. So I don't know who this is. Let's see who this lady is. Oh, that's Eva Longoria, the actress.
Excited to be here tonight. What an honor to be part of this historic moment, and y'all are part of it. Look, I have known Kamala Harris for more than a decade, and she comes from a family a lot like mine, and I'm sure a lot like yours.
No, not like mine.
We were both raised knowing that no one was going to hand us anything, especially as women. That we were going to have to touch every rung of the ladder to get ahead. We were going to have to work really hard. Now, she worked at McDonald's, but I worked at Wendy's. And look at us now. You see, Kamala and I were able to see beyond the horizon because our families supported our big dreams. Well, guess what? As Americans, we're all part of one big family. Somos familia.
I feel like these people are at Chuck E. Cheese or something, and they're like talking to grade school children. There's no adult communication going on. Chuck E. Cheese, I used to work at McDonald's. She worked at Wendy's. Tell me how I'm going to pay my bills. Tell me how we're going to do all the stuff we need to do. Don't even address it.
Sí se puede, which means yes. It means yes we can. But tonight...
And it's a Thursday night, so if you guys are drinking at home, take a shot every time they say Trump. But then again, we're only going to have you probably here for about 15 minutes if you do that, because they're all saying Trump, 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 Trump.
He says, is she qualified for the job? We're going to say, she se puede. When somebody asks, is she going to be the first female president of the United States? We're going to say, she se puede. Our voices, our vote, we're going to decide this election. And let me tell you, the energy tonight isn't just here in Chicago, it's all across the country. People are gathered at watch parties everywhere to celebrate Kamala Harris. Say hello.
Ooh. Zoom calls.
Yes. All right. We know how to work, so let's get to work. Let's turn all of this enthusiasm and joy into action between now and November 5th. Let's go. She se puede. She se puede.
See what some of these people look like? Damn. Cat ladies.
Please welcome.
I have to make sure there's no music, so let's see who's coming out now. I bet you... Oh, there he is. This tool. This tool. Oh, my gosh. Can you believe this? He's probably going to cry.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Adam Kinzinger, and I am proud to be in the trenches with you as part of this sometimes awkward alliance that we have to defend truth, defend democracy, and decency. I was just a kid when I was drawn to the party of Ronald Reagan, to his vision of a strong America, the shining city on a hill. I was a Republican for 12 years in Congress, and I still hold on to the label. I never thought I'd be here, but listen, you never thought you'd see me here, did you? But
hoping I wouldn't see you ever again.
I've learned something about the Democratic Party, and I want to let my fellow Republicans in on the secret. The Democrats are as patriotic as us.
See how they're trying to shift this now? At the last day of the convention, now they're going to try
this
people.
Country just as much as we do.
Now it's all about the USA stealing it some more from Trump. Just these dog and pony NPCs think it's real. It's all fake. Look, they just brought in flags today. No one has mentioned USA.
To defend American values at home and abroad as we conservatives have ever been.
Shameful. Absolutely shameful.
I was relieved to discover that because I've learned something about my party too. Something I couldn't ignore. The Republican Party is no longer conservative. It has switched its allegiance from the principles that gave it purpose to a man whose only purpose is himself. Donald Trump is a weak man pretending to be strong.
Has he started yet? No,
He
I don't have
is
anything
a
like Trump
small
yet.
man pretending to be big. He's a faithless man pretending to be righteous. He's a perpetrator who can't stop playing the victim. He puts on, listen, he puts on quite a show, but there is no real strength there.
Wow.
As a conservative and a veteran, I believe true strength lies in defending the vulnerable. It's in protecting your family. It's in standing up for our Constitution and our democracy. That is the soul of being a conservative. It used to be the soul of being a Republican, but Donald Trump has suffocated the soul of the Republican Party.
Can't wait to win just to get rid of this ass.
His fundamental weakness has coursed through my party like an illness, sapping our strength, softening our spine, whipping us into a fever that has untethered us from our values.
Why don't you just join
Our
the
democracy
Democrat
was
Party?
frayed by the events of January 6th,
He's
as
gonna try
Donald
now.
Trump's deceit and dishonor led to a siege on the United States Capitol. That day,
So he's going to talk about January 6th now. Larry says, turn it off. Just talk to us. Whew. Oh, my God. This guy is an absolute moron. I don't know what happened to him. How did he break? I mean, did Trump endorse his competitor or something? Did he get voted out because Trump, put somebody else in office? What happened to him and Liz Cheney? Exactly. How much was he paid? He got his 30 pieces of silver. Absolutely. It's going to be beautiful seeing what Trump says about this little bitch. I'll keep refreshing Trump's True Social. He hasn't started yet, so I guess he's going to wait for not Beyonce. What was I going to say? He's going to wait for Kamala to start before he even gets going, which is fine with me. Such a disgusting little dweeb. He is, isn't he? First time you saw Adam Kinzinger? Yeah. Oh, God, he is. Kinzinger believes in suppressing evidence to propel a narrative. Yeah, remember all that stuff about January 6th. They went ahead and buried it so nobody would ever see it again. But there's so much evidence that came out that found out this guy was full of crap and Liz Cheney was full of crap. Just unbelievable. MK Ultra. Yeah, I was wondering why he just doesn't go ahead and change his affiliation. You're a Democrat, dude. You are a Democrat. You got exposed is what would happen. People found out about you. That's what it is. All these clowns are doing is trashing Trump. That's it. He gets his little 2.5 minutes up on stage, whatever, and then go away. Don't need you anymore. You're not voting on anything. We don't need you. The entire convention was talking about not entire convention was talking about not, but was actually so full of hate. All they did the entire time was trash Trump. Nothing about apology. Hate fueled joy. Now the other thing with it that I've noticed, it's 10:15 on the East Coast. They put Biden on close to midnight. They put Barack Obama right at about midnight. And then now you've got the headliner, Kamala's got to come out and give her spew, and she's going to be late. A lot of people going to bed. So the only people who, staying up are you lovely people, myself, Trump, and a whole lot of kids. That's who she's going after. So I'm wondering if she's going to manufacture some kind of bump. I don't know. But I do have something. Wait a minute. There was some breaking news that I did want to share with you guys. Let me see if I can find it. Where did he post it? Where did he post? Oh, okay. Here it is. Here it is. Let me show you guys this. Okay, ready for this? This is what Trump posted tonight on Truth Social. Let me move that comment out the way so you guys can see it. But he made a picture, or somebody posted a picture. Join me tomorrow in Arizona, and he's got a silhouette there next to him. There, look at it, and it says, "Join President Trump," featuring a special guest. Could it be, like I've said, is he going to walk out on stage? It's very possible. It's very possible she's going to do whatever she does, whatever she wants to do tonight. She's going to say whatever she wants. She's going to hope for her bump. And then what's going to happen is tomorrow, Trump is going to be talking, doing a speech at TPAC convention. And then and RFK Jr. is making his announcement. And just so you know, his vice presidential candidate, she came out and said what they're going to say is going to shock the political world. So we'll see what happens and who shows up. So we got somebody else out here. Don't know who this woman is. Got a lot of people that we don't know who the heck these people are. So maybe you guys know who this is.
The only country she'd ever known to chart her own path in America. She came here to pursue an education, but she stayed here to build a life. Her name was Dr. Kamala Gopalan Harris.
I don't know who this woman is.
But we called her Mommy. Mommy was so many things to so many people. A civil rights activist, a scientist, a devoted mother to her 2 little girls. But most of all, Mommy was a trailblazer who defied the odds and defined herself. And when it came to Kamala and me...
Can't listen. That's her sister. That's her sister right there. So they hire the most no-name people to come out. Yeah, they brought her sister. Her sister got a little bit darker of a complexion there, so maybe she can tell everyone she's black, but don't know. Can't tell how she identifies. The 4 horsemen rolled out against the Democrat Party. I can't wait out either. I think it's going to be fantastic. His vice president, Nicole Shanahan, she put out something else tonight and said that there were a ton of Democrats that were out there basically calling her up saying, you can't do this, you can't. They're terrified, was the exact word she used. The Democrats are terrified of Trump and RFK Jr. aligning. It's a huge problem for them. So expect tomorrow, if this happens, if tomorrow, 5:30, 6 o'clock, if they get together and do this, watch the media go into absolute bat poop craziness. They will do everything to try and rip apart RFK Jr. But it's going to be kind of hard because, he's a Kennedy, he's been around, and, what are you going to say? I almost said the word, his jab ideas? I don't know. I don't know what you're going to say. He was basically a Democrat, so there's not much you can go after him. Yeah, you're thinking the same thing, Barry, about the sis. Yeah, I'm not sure how she floats, man. We're not sure. Did y'all know that Kamala is a tribute to a Hindu god? The name? Okay. Kamala Devi Harris is her name. Nope, I did not know that. Did not know that. DNC is sloppy. I can't stand to listen to all this. That's why I have not watched. That's why I cut it. Because all it is blah, 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 blah. And not, it's crazy. I hope the Secret Service is double. Yeah, you're right. The media is already bat poop crazy. It's going to explode. I'm telling you right now, tomorrow at about 7 p.m. Eastern, whenever they get on stage, if Robert F. Kennedy Jr. walks out there with him, they're going to lose it. Deservedly so. Because I think, even with J.D. Vance as vice president, having, as I said earlier in the day, not just having an endorsement from RFK Jr. If he comes out and says he's going to be part of my team, if those words come out of his mouth tomorrow, hey, listen, we are going to work together as a team, they're toast. They'll get all his people will support. It'll be over. Why do I want to lie to somebody who why do I want to listen to somebody who lies to me? Exactly. You are exactly correct. James O'Keefe is undercover at the DNC. You guys see what Mike Lindell did? Mike Lindell shaved off his mustache and he went undercover as well. So there's going to be a lot of videos coming out over the next couple of days. They're going to let this thing finish, let it simmer down, and then you watch next week. Now, I don't know what she's going to do next week, because in order for her to basically capitalize on this thing and try to get a bounce, she's going to have to talk to the press. They can't keep hiding her, but it may be too late. The same Democrat lawyers trying to keep RFK Jr. off the presidential ballot are busting their arses trying to get RFK Jr. back on the ballot. Oh, that's too funny. That is too funny. Maybe whatever that news is coming is why CNN has backed off a little. That's entirely possible. Entirely possible. I think any attack on RFK Jr. will backfire big time on them. Not a good idea to attack his son and nephew of two assassinated icons. You're absolutely true. You're absolutely. Okay, so now Big Sis or Little Sis, whichever one she is, just got done. She's walking off. Let's see who they're bringing out now. I don't want to play something because it might be Beyonce, it might be Tay-Tay. They might be playing music. No, who is this guy? Who's this? Oh, this is Roy Cooper, the governor of North Carolina. This guy looks like he should have been Mayberry RFD because he looks like Don Knotts to me.
Hello, America. I'm Roy Cooper, the last guy standing between you and the moment we're all waiting for. So I'm going to get right to it. All week, you've heard stories about my friend Kamala. I want to take you behind the scenes of one of them. 2011 was a rough time for American homeowners. Hundreds of thousands were losing their homes to illegal foreclosure. I was Attorney General in North Carolina, while Kamala had just become California's. All the AGs were close to a settlement with the big banks, and it was a pretty good deal. Would have meant $4 billion for California families who'd been ripped off. I know that sounds like a lot, but Kamala said, hang on a minute.
People are like, turn it off, please. No more. Oh, my God. He looks like a sleazy creep, too. Would you buy a used car from him? They don't have that look to them, don't they? And what bothers me when I'm listening to them, talk to me like I'm an adult. Talk to me like, I can actually relate to you and have a conversation. I feel like every person that comes out there for the Democrats talks like they're, Mr. Rogers or Mrs. Rogers. They don't seem to just want to elevate a conversation to an adult level. Maybe because they've got nothing to say. Nothing to say at all. So I'm not sure. Let me check and see if Trump is on yet. Is he doing anything? I hope he's still going to do it. Let me go ahead and refresh. Unless he's waiting until she walks out. Okay. Here's his first one. So the first one thus far. Boom. I'm getting ready to be fair but critical of Comrade Kamala Harris. My play-by-play will be on Truth Social starting soon. All right. Here we go. He posted. Oh, okay, here it comes. A play-by-play on Truth Social starting soon. I'm okay with that. Let's do it, Donald. Let me make sure I got this thing all set so that we can see everything when it comes up. And let me make it a little bit bigger and position it where it's supposed to be. Because he may post some videos in here. If he posts some videos, I'm going to have to download them first, because I'm thinking he and his team. Okay, there we go. This is what it's going to look like. So I got the whole window in there. I just went ahead and shrunk it so I can basically get the whole tweet. I'll call it a tweet. They call it a Truth Social post. But we are ready to go. We've got the idiots talking. I got the chat working. Everything is going. We're going to be good. Hopefully he's got some good zingers. I like how he said he's going to be fair. Okay, he's gonna be fair but critical. Okay, it's more than what they, better than what they're doing with him. They're just trying to trash this poor guy. Oh, well, maybe not poor guy, but hold on, let me just, all right, so now I'm all set. Now we got everything set, got the comments, and looks like we may be getting girly girl coming. People going nuts. Not sure who's coming out right now. Let's see, is it her or is it somebody else? They're all cheering. They're all jumping up and down, losing their minds. North Carolina does vote up and down ticket, but the election fraud prohibits us electing a Republican governor or Republican attorney general. I hope that Mark Robinson wins big time. It's laughable that he called Harris comrade when Trump is in love with Putin, the Chi and Kim Union. Oh, your feelings hurt? Are they? You're upset? Maybe you should go watch it someplace else, okay? Okay. Get out of here. Get some rest. Looks like you're pretty tired. No, I'm good. I'm good. What you're seeing is at nighttime I have to make the lights brighter, and because the lights are brighter, it puts, got to squint and stuff, because if I make it less, then you won't see me, which might be fine. Comrade Kamala and Tampon Tim. Yep, that's where it is. Oh, you think is Taylor Swift going to come out? Well, the next person to talk is supposed to be Kamala. I'm trying to say her name right. It's just, I'm sorry, just how so we don't know. The convention is more like the revenge of the nerds. Yes, it is. Refreshing over here to see if Trump posted anything else. He just said coming soon. Still got coming soon. All they do is trash the contender, but no good plans. Gosh, I hope the Dems Don wins, because I can't even relate to these freaks. So what they're showing on screen right now is basically a tribute video to Kamala Harris, and they're showing her, with the police and doing stuff. If you guys want to see it, I can cut the sound, but she's looking like she's just the best person ever.
Partnerships with DO.
So people are just saying all the great things she's done. Notice, in order for them to say the great things she's done, yeah, we should look at this. What you're going to notice, as I've been watching this, that's a much younger Kamala Harris. This is all the stuff that happened in California. It's like the last 3.5 years never even happened. So they're looking way back. Hey, back when she was in California, here's all the stuff that she did. What has she done the last 3.5 years? They're expecting people not to realize that she has been the vice president for 3.5 years. That's what they want. That's what they're trying to do. What's funny? Some of these guys that are trolling, they think that I'm going to put their stuff up all the time. And if SV or anybody's here, you guys can see who they are. Just go ahead and just boot them. Boot them. Stupid Kamala Harris, just one-sided as usual. Yeah. And I'm just watching this stuff. It just, there's nothing that they've shown thus far. How they're cutting it to the eyes, to the side, and all this stuff. Oh, there it is. There's something with her walking. Then there's something when she did the, and then right to her campaign. Whoa, that was one big fast forward, wasn't it? Wow. They jumped from her being in as vice president for one thing to jump into her campaign. Wow. Wow. Hey, Marcus, I got your email, and I will get back to you tomorrow. She's not even doing anything in the video. She's just talking or taking pictures. And they're all old. They're all old. She's not doing anything. I've never seen so many rodeo clowns crammed into one building. Wow, they're funny look at you now nonsense. Yeah. And yeah, look, they cut right to her campaign. They skipped There was one, I think so, thus far, one shot with Biden. That one shot of them walking on the outside of the White House, and everything else. That's it. Don't remember that she was vice president. You don't even put that in your mind. Get it out. 3 years didn't happen. She wants to have the Men in Black memory remover stick. That's what she's going to be doing. Let's see here. Big Dime, gonna win. Big Don, I think, gonna win no matter waste of money that could have supported our vets. Yeah, could have. I would never vote for any woman for president. There's a lot of people who feel that way. A lot of people. So we're getting ready. They're running the tribute film right now. Something tells me before they bring her on, it's probably gonna be Taylor Swift, Beyonce. Somebody's gonna come out and sing the big song before she walks out. Bread lines and clown circuses. Here's again. That's her campaign. They skipped 3.5 years of her life. Completely skipped 3.5 years of her life. Like it never happened. Unbelievable. So expect she's going to come out, since everyone was talking about patriotism. Now all of a sudden she's going to find USA. They got all the little flags ready. It's going to be USA, USA, USA. And let's see, is the Donald saying anything yet? What's he got here? Okay. Yes, we do have another post by Donald. Donald says, we've assembled a small group of people, great patriots, and we're currently watching her puff piece. So the man means business. Absolutely. So I got to cut the music. So they're going to be going. Sucks that he's doing it on True Social instead of at Twitter. If it was on Twitter, it would be out to more people. But he's dropping them here on True Social. And indeed, this is one long-ass puff piece. Lots of flags. Now, all of a sudden, everybody in the Democrat Party wants to love America. All of a sudden. Just happened. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much. This makes me ill, because all along they didn't want to do nothing patriotic. Unreal. You weren't supposed to see that. That's when he skipped over the three. She skipped over the 3 years of her life completely. If you run this back, I bet you Joe was on screen for maybe 2.5 seconds. Maybe. Unreal. What's going on, Adam? How you doing? Trump has started. We'll be going back and forth to it. I don't know if any of my moderators are here tonight, because we might need them, but we'll see what happens. Hey, Anthony, how you been, man? You said the rodeo clowns there couldn't even work for Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. They'd get rejected. This is a seriously long puff piece. Just keeps going and going and going. Is that her? Is this live, or is that still just part of the video? I can't tell. Maybe because that must be live. Let me see if they're playing music.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, here we go. USA. How phony to be saying USA, USA right now.
Thank you all. Okay.
How unbelievably phony.
We got to get to some business. Okay. Thank you all. Okay. Thank you. Please. Thank you so very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, let's get to business.
And Trump said he's going to be calling into Brett Baer after her speech.
By thanking my most incredible husband, Doug, for being an incredible partner to me, an incredible father to Cole and Ella, and happy anniversary, Dougie.
Dougie.
I love you so very much. To our President Joe Biden.
It's disgusting.
When I think about the path that we have traveled together, Joe, I am filled with gratitude. Your record is extraordinary, as history will show, and your character is inspiring. And Doug and I love you and Jill and are forever thankful to you both.
You kicked them out. People aren't supposed to know that.
And to Coach Tim Walz, you are going to be an incredible vice president.
Go ahead and do it. Jazz hands.
And to the delegates and everyone who has put your faith in our campaign, your support is humbling. So, America, the path that led me here in recent weeks was no doubt unexpected. But I'm no stranger to unlikely journeys. So, my mother, our mother, Kamala Harris, had one of her own. And I miss her every day, and especially right now. And I know she's looking down smiling. I know that. So my mother was 19 when she crossed the world alone, traveling from India to California with an unshakable dream to be the scientist who would cure breast cancer.
Trump says, too many thank yous, too rapidly. Hey, what's going on with her?
Supposed to return home to a traditional arranged marriage. But as fate would have it, she met my father, Donald Harris, a student from Jamaica. They fell in love and got married, and that act of self-determination made my sister Maya and me. Growing up, we moved a lot. I will always remember that big Mayflower truck packed with all our belongings, ready to go to Illinois, to Wisconsin, and wherever our parents' jobs took us.
Good point.
My early memories of our parents together are very joyful ones. A home filled with laughter and music, Aretha, Coltrane, and Miles. At the park, my mother would say, "Stay close." But my father would say, as he smiled, "Run, Kamala, run. Don't be afraid. Don't let anything stop you."
I don't know what she's talking about.
From my earliest years, he taught me to be fearless. But the harmony between my parents did not last. When I was in elementary school, they split up. And it was mostly my mother who raised us. Before she could finally afford to buy a home, she rented a small apartment in the East Bay. In the Bay,
Trump posted twice, Waltz was an assistant coach, not a coach, and where's Hunter?
a beautiful working class neighborhood of firefighters, nurses, and construction workers, all who tended their lawns with pride.
I don't
My mother,
care.
she worked long hours, and like many working parents, she leaned on a trusted circle to help raise us. Mrs. Shelton, who ran the daycare below us and became a second mother. Uncle Sherman, Aunt Mary, Uncle Freddie, Auntie Chris. None of them family by blood, and all of them family by love. Family who taught us how to make gumbo, how to play chess, and sometimes even let us win. Family who loved us, believed in us, and told us we could be anything and do anything. They instilled in us the values they personified: community, faith, and the importance of treating others as you would want to be treated, with kindness,
respect, and compassion. My mother was a brilliant, 5-foot-tall, brown woman with an accent. And as the eldest child, I saw how the world would sometimes treat her. But my mother never lost her cool.
Trump says she's talking about how great San Francisco was before she actually destroyed it. Probably not a good idea.
A lesson that Michelle mentioned the other night. She taught us to never complain about injustice, but do something about it. Do something about it. That was my mother. And she taught us, and she also taught us, and never do anything half-assed. And that is a direct quote. A direct quote. I grew up immersed in the ideals of the civil rights movement. My parents had met at a civil rights gathering, and they made sure that we learned about civil rights leaders, including the lawyers like Thurgood Marshall and Constance Baker Motley. Those who battled in the courtroom to make real the promise of America. So at a young age, I decided I wanted to do that work. I wanted to be a lawyer. And when it came time to choose the type of law I would pursue, I reflected on a pivotal moment in my life. You see, when I was in high school, I started to notice something about my best friend, Wanda. She was sad at school, and there were times she didn't want to go home. So one day I asked if everything was all right, and she confided in me that she was being sexually abused by her stepfather. And I immediately told her she had to come stay with us, and she did. This is one of the reasons I became a prosecutor, to protect people like Wanda, because I believe everyone has a right to safety, to dignity, and to justice.
Well, here's where she's going to talk about the newcomers. Everybody.
As a prosecutor, when I had a case, I charged it not in the name of the victim, but in the name of the people.
And Trump tweets, posts and says, a lot of talk about childhood, get to the border, inflation, and crime. I don't think that's coming.
And I would often explain this to console survivors of crime, to remind them no one should be made to fight alone. We are all in this together. And every day, communism. In the courtroom, I stood proudly before a judge and I said 5 words: Kamala Harris for the people. And to be clear, my entire career, I've only had one client, the people. And so, on behalf of the people, on behalf of every American, regardless of party, race, gender, or the language your grandmother speaks, on behalf of my mother and everyone who has ever set out on their own unlikely journey, on behalf of Americans like the people I grew up with, people who work hard, chase their dreams, and look out for one another, on behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
election.
She can't be.
And with this election, our nation with this election has a precious, fleeting opportunity to move past the bitterness, cynicism, and divisive battles of the past, a chance to chart a new way forward. Not as members of any one party or faction, but as Americans. And let me say, I know there are people of various political views watching tonight, and I want you to know, I promise to be a president for all Americans. You can always trust
You're not
me
saying
to
anything.
put country above party and self, to hold sacred America's fundamental principles, from the rule of law to free and fair elections to the peaceful transfer of power.
I don't understand why they're clapping. That's the funny part. They're
I will
clapping.
be
She hadn't
a
said
president
anything.
who unites us around our highest aspirations. A president who leads and listens, who is realistic, practical, and has common sense, and always fights for the American people. From the courthouse to the White House, that has been my life's work. As a young courtroom prosecutor in Oakland, California, I stood up for women and children against predators who abuse them. As Attorney General of California, I took on the big banks, delivered $20 billion for middle-class families who faced foreclosure, and helped pass a homeowner bill of rights, one of the first of its kind in the nation.
What are you going to do?
I stood up for veterans and students being scammed by big for-profit colleges, for workers who are being cheated out of their wages, the wages they were due, for seniors facing elder abuse. I fought against the cartels who traffic in guns and drugs and human beings.
We got another post by Trump. Kamala's biography won't lower prices at the grocery store, at the pump. Gasoline up 51%, groceries up 22% since she's been in office. And this biography won't change that.
In those offices, we were underestimated at practically every turn. But we never gave up, because the future is always worth fighting for. For America's future. Fellow Americans, this election is not only the most important of our lives, it is one of the most important in the life of our nation.
Get to the third.
In many ways, Donald Trump is an unserious man. But the consequences of putting Donald Trump back in the White House are extremely serious. Consider not only the chaos and calamity when he was in office, but also the gravity of what has happened since he lost the last election. Donald Trump tried to throw away your votes. When he failed, he sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol, where they assaulted law enforcement officers.
Oh, she's lying.
When politicians
if this
in
is all
his
you got,
own
it's over.
party begged him to call off off the mob and send help. He did the opposite. He fanned the flames. And now, for an entirely different set of crimes, he was found guilty of fraud by a jury of everyday Americans and separately found liable for committing sexual abuse. And consider what he intends to do if we give him power again. Consider his explicit intent to set free violent extremists who assaulted those law enforcement officers at the Capitol.
Oh my God.
His explicit intent to jail journalists, political opponents, and anyone he sees as the enemy. His explicit intent to deploy our active duty military against our own citizens.
The entire thing, she's lying.
Consider the power he will have, especially after the United States Supreme Court just ruled that he would be immune from criminal prosecution.
All right, so Trump's responding. He goes, she talks about the rule of law, but as borders are, she allowed 20 million people into our country who are maiming and killing our people. Why didn't she do something about the things of which she complains? The chaos and calamity is allowing our country to be infiltrated by millions of criminals. Peacefully and patriotically. She didn't say that. She just
not
said,
to strengthen our national security, but to serve the only client he has ever had, himself.
This ain't gonna make it, girl. Yes.
And we know.
Yes, she does sound desperate.
And we know what a second Trump term would look like. It's all laid out in Project 2025, written by his closest advisors. And its sum total is to pull our country back to the past. But America,
she's gonna lose the election.
We are not going back.
That, boom, you just lost the election. You got nothing. Project 2025?
We are not going back to when Donald Trump tried to cut Social Security and Medicare.
He just lies.
We are not going back to when he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. We are not going to let him eliminate the Department of Education that funds our public schools.
So you need to hear it because people won't believe she's lying this much.
We are not going to let him end programs like Head Start that provide preschool and child care for our children. America, we are not going back. And we are charting a new way forward. Forward to a future with a strong and growing middle class, because we know...
All right, we got Trump coming in again, coming in hot this time. These prosecutions were all started by her and Biden against their political opponent. Absolutely correct. She paid and raised bail to get violent rioters in Minnesota out of jail. Kamala Harris bailed out the ones who lit the matches while Waltz let Minnesota burn. And this was probably the best one. She's talking about me? You talking about me?
We lived within our means, yet we wanted for little. And she expected us to make the most of the opportunities that were available to us and to be grateful for them.
Is so unlikable.
Because, as she taught us, opportunity is not available to everyone. That's why we will create what I call an opportunity economy where everyone has the chance to compete and a chance to succeed.
Communism.
Whether you live in a rural area, small town, or big city. And as president, I will bring together labor and workers and small business owners and entrepreneurs and American American companies to create jobs, to grow our economy, and to lower the cost of everyday needs like health care and housing and groceries. We will provide access to capital for small business owners and entrepreneurs and founders. And we will end America's housing shortage.
How? What's your
Social Security and Medicare.
No substance.
Now compare that to Donald Trump, because I think everyone here knows he doesn't actually fight for the middle class. He doesn't actually fight for the middle class. Instead, he fights for himself and his billionaire friends.
Oh man,
and he will give them another round of tax.
So Trump comes in and says she's lying again about Project 2025, which she knows, and so do all the Democrats, that I have nothing to do with it. She said chart a new way forward, but she's had 3.5 years and has done nothing but harm. I can understand how she's just getting up on stage and lying like this.
On middle-class families by almost $4,000 a year. Well, instead of a Trump tax hike, we will pass a middle-class tax cut that will benefit more than 100 million Americans. Friends, I believe America cannot truly be prosperous unless Americans are fully able to make their own decisions about their own lives, especially on matters of heart and home. But tonight, in America, too many women are not able to make those decisions.
Oh, here we go.
And let's be clear about how we got here. Donald Trump handpicked members of the United States Supreme Court to take away reproductive freedom. And now he brags about it. In his words, quote, "I did it and I'm proud to have done it," end quote. Well, I'll tell you, over the past 2 years, I've traveled across our country, and women have told me their stories. Husbands and fathers have shared theirs. Stories of women miscarrying in a parking lot, developing sepsis, losing the ability to ever again have children, all because doctors are afraid they may go to jail for caring for their patients. Couples just trying to grow their family, cut off in the middle of IVF treatments. Children who have survived sexual assault, potentially being forced to carry a pregnancy to term.
We gotta vote this woman.
This is what's happening in our country because of Donald Trump. And understand, he is not done. As a part of his agenda, he and his allies would limit access to birth control, ban medication abortion, and enact a nationwide abortion ban with or without Congress.
He's never
and
said
get this.
Never said that.
Get this. He plans to create a national anti-abortion coordinator and force states to report on women's miscarriages and abortions.
What are you going to do?
Simply put, they are out of their minds. And one must ask, why exactly is it that they don't trust women? Well, we trust women. We trust women. And when Congress passes a bill to restore reproductive freedom, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law.
Yeah, I bet you will. Ain't gonna get signed.
In this election, many other fundamental freedoms are at stake. The freedom to live.
Trump's got a couple more. She's talking about the middle class, but she's the one who broke the middle class and made it unsafe and unaffordable. She's projecting an opportunity economy, but I created opportunity zones. I've bought property in opportunity zones, so yes, he has the most successful economic development policy in years. She will obliterate Social Security and Medicare by giving it away to millions of newcomers who are infiltrating our country. She's not even discussing that. She says she's going to lower the cost of housing, but houses were more affordable under Trump. Also, why didn't she already do it? Good question. No specific programs, all talk, no action. Why didn't she do it 3.5 years ago?
And let me be clear. After decades in law enforcement, I know the importance of safety and security, especially at our border. Last year, Joe and I brought together Democrats and conservative Republicans to write the strongest border bill in decades. The Border Patrol endorsed it. But Donald Trump believes a border deal would hurt his campaign. So he ordered his allies in Congress to kill the deal. Well, I refuse to play politics with our security, and here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the bipartisan border security bill that he killed, and I will sign it into law. I know we can live up to our proud heritage as a nation of immigrants and reform our broken immigration system. We can create an earned pathway to citizenship and secure our border.
Oh, so you want to let them all have citizenship. Good luck.
And America, we must also be steadfast in advancing our security and values abroad. As Vice President, I have confronted threats to our security, negotiated with foreign leaders, strengthened our alliances, and engaged with our brave troops overseas. As Commander-in-Chief, I will ensure America always has the strongest, most lethal fighting force in the world. And I will fulfill our sacred obligation to care for our troops and their families, and I will always honor and never disparage their service and their sacrifice.
Why have you done it? Trump's back in with everybody. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, and conservatives wanted Roe v. Wade terminated and brought back to the states. Like Ronald Reagan and myself, most believe in exceptions. Now the people are voting, which is the way it was supposed to be. I will not limit access to birth control or IVF. That is a lie. These are all false stories that she's making up that I've never even heard of. It's just words coming out of her mouth. I trust women also, and I will keep women safe. She won't, because the invasion of our country at her open border is destroying the lives of women and the families and jobs of African Americans and Hispanics. Good post.
Could, quote, do whatever the hell they want. 5 days before Russia attacked Ukraine, I met with President Zelensky to warn him about Russia's plan to invade. I helped mobilize a global response, over 50 countries, to defend against Putin's aggression.
Thank you, Texas.
And as president, I will stand strong with Ukraine and our NATO allies.
Oh, so more money to Ukraine. That's what she just said. More money to Ukraine. Man.
With respect to the war in Gaza, President Biden and I are working around the clock, because now is the time to get a hostage deal and a ceasefire deal done.
Isn't Biden at the beach?
And let me be clear.
Around the clock. Biden's at the beach in California.
Stand up for Israel's right to defend itself And I will always ensure Israel has the ability to defend itself, because the people of Israel must never again face the horror that a terrorist organization called Hamas caused on October 7, including unspeakable sexual violence and the massacre of young people at a music festival.
Well, she's going to lose the Hamas wing.
At the same time, what has happened in Gaza over the past 10 months is devastating. So many innocent lives lost. Desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety over and over again. The scale of suffering is heartbreaking. President Biden and I are working to end this war such that Israel is secure, the hostages are released, the suffering in Gaza ends, and the Palestinian people can realize their right to dignity, security, freedom, and self-determination. And know this, I will never hesitate to take whatever action is necessary to defend our forces and our interests against Iran and Iran-backed terrorists. I will not cozy up to tyrants and dictators like Kim Jong-un, who are rooting for Trump. Because, you know, they know he is easy to manipulate with flattery and favors. They know Trump won't hold autocrats accountable because he wants to be an autocrat himself. And as president, I will never waver in defense of America's security and ideals, because in the enduring struggle between democracy and tyranny, I know where I stand and I know where the United States belongs.
Well, Trump just called her out. He said she just called to give all illegals citizenship. Say goodbye to the USA. She is a Marxist, radical Marxist. NATO wasn't paying their bills. Almost every country was delinquent. When I said, if you don't pay, we're out. The United States is tired of being a sucker. The money came rolling in by the billions. I saved NATO. Russia / that other country would have never started if I were president. She was sent to try to stop it, and Putin attacked 3 days later. And this one big. She hates Israel. She didn't even show up in Congress to meet with Netanyahu. 100% true.
Ready for the next step in the incredible journey that is America. I see an America where we hold fast to the fearless belief that built our nation and inspired the world. That here, in this country, anything is possible. That nothing is out of reach. An America where we care for one another, look out for one another, and recognize that we have so much more in common than what separates us. That none of us has to fail for all of us to succeed.
None of us has to fail. Communism.
And that in unity there is strength. You know, our opponents in this race are out there every day denigrating America, talking about how terrible everything is. Well, my mother had another lesson she used to teach. Never let anyone tell you who you are. You show them who you are.
What the hell does that mean?
Let us show each other and the world who we are and what we stand for. Freedom, opportunity, compassion, dignity, fairness, and endless possibilities.
Fairness, equity. You hear what she's saying, don't you?
We are the heirs to the greatest democracy in the history of the world. And on behalf of our children and our grandchildren and all those who sacrificed so dearly for our freedom.
We got incoming from Trump. She caused the attack of October 7th. Iran was broke, didn't have any money for Hezbollah. The tyrants are laughing at her because she's weak and ineffective, and for 3.5 years she has done nothing except enable them to get strong, rich, and powerful. She stands for incompetence and weakness. Our country is being laughed at all over the world.
Country we love, to fight for the ideals we cherish, and to uphold the awesome responsibility that comes with the greatest privilege on earth, the privilege and pride of being an American. So let's get out there, let's fight for
That's it?
Let's get out there, let's vote for it, and together let us write the next great chapter in the most extraordinary story ever told. Thank you. God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you all.
What's that, 25 minutes of nothing? Just saying stuff? Forget that you've been there for 3.5 years? Now, just to let you know, don't turn on CNN, don't turn on MSNBC, because you know what's going to be happening. They're going to be lathering her boots. They're going to be just licking up on the boots, say it's the best speech ever. That's it. That's the best speech ever. But if she goes to a debate, how in the hell is she going to back this stuff up? How is she going to stand to Trump when he says, hey, listen, you've been in office 3.5 years. Why didn't you do it? All the flowery, puffy stuff that you said doesn't matter at all. You're going to have to answer some questions. She can't. It is obvious right now she can't answer any questions. Let's see what, what Trump has said. Okay. He came back real hard here. Okay, so let's see what he's got here. She talks about other countries' borders, but nothing about United States border. She's done nothing for 3.5 years but talk, and that's what she's doing tonight. She's complaining about everything but doing nothing. She should leave the speech right now, go to Washington, close the border, allow fracking in Pennsylvania and other places to start doing the things she's complaining about that she's not doing. She has made this entire arena believe she's not the vice president, that she doesn't work hand in hand with Joe. Why aren't you doing the things that you say that you want to do, but you want to wait until January? Go do it. Trump comes back with another one. She talks about compassion, but doesn't talk about all the people she's allowed into our country. A 43% increase in violent crime nationwide, 60% increase in that, can't say that word, since she's been border czar. Crime has gone through the roof. She's cheated on jobs. 818,000 jobs gone, blip. To make our country look like it's thriving, inflation is killing us. She has led us into failing nation status. He's told no lies. You just listened to 25 minutes of lies. Oh, he's really hitting it here. Wait a minute, he's got even more coming through. She never mentioned China. She didn't mention fracking. She didn't mention energy. She didn't mention meaningful relationships with Russia and that other country. She didn't mention the big subjects of the day that are destroying our country. There are 60 million people in poverty in the United States under their watch, and she doesn't even talk about them. Didn't address the economy whatsoever. There will be no future under Comrade Kamala Harris because she will take us into a nuclear war, World War III. She will never be respected by the tyrants of the world. I sat back. I'm like, I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to give her the benefit of a doubt. Let's see. You got the stage. You're there. You got the stage. Tell us right now what you're going to do. No? Nothing? Nothing? If you're even a Democrat right now, other than I hate Trump, what in the hell is she going to do that she shouldn't be doing right now? I would love those trolls still here. I would love for any of these people who are her supporters to tell me, what is she going to do as president that she couldn't be doing today? Simple question. I'm going to use that on Twitter. So tell me what's different. She is the incumbent. She is the vice president. She stole the reins from Dementia Joe. She basically has the power of the presidency today. Why isn't she doing it? Nobody's going to have that answer. Nobody. So I'm so glad this is over. I wasn't going to watch, and wow, this made me sick. It's good to watch it. It's good to see how much of a dolt this woman is and how they treat their own audience. You got 10, 12,000 people barking seals in there just clapping for something, and she didn't say anything. And she came across so inauthentic. I felt like I was watching a Broadway play. Yeah, I mean, oh gosh. I didn't know I'd find somebody more unlikable than Hillary Clinton. I mean, I think this is the woman. They are all gone, Barry. They know she is all talk and no action. Yeah, wow. You're not shadow banned. Yeah, I can see you. Right there. You're there. Why are the comments turned off on the news stations? Good point. They don't want to talk to people. The debate will be interesting because Trump will crush her and sweep her under the rug, except the moderators. If the moderators only talk about the stuff that she can speak about, Trump is going to have to get it out there. They're going to talk and talk about climate change. They're going to talk about baby disposal. What else is she going to say? She lied one after the other. He's not involved with Project 2025. If she didn't have that, what would she have said? He's not doing a national ban. They never said it. So half of her speech was just, glowy stuff about her personal life, and the other half was lies. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. There was nothing but a lie fest. Nothing at all. I mean, she just kept going, and they just kept lapping it up. Let's see. Look, it's crazy Nancy Pelosi looking on saying, "Where's Crooked Joe?" They don't care. They don't care at this point. They're going to lie their way into the presidency. I doubt she does a press conference. How can she do a press conference? CNN already fact-checked her yesterday and said, or fact-checked the convention and say he's not part of Project 2025. So if you're going to keep pushing that, how are you going to do it? It's already been debunked. Unbelievable. CNN already said, 25-minute acceptance speech is pretty shallow. That was very, very shallow. Yeah, CNN last night said Project 2025 is not a Trump campaign thing. So I don't know what she's going to do. It's now over. I don't see her getting a bounce from this. They may fake a bounce. They may try to say that there's a bounce. But I think tomorrow, and this is what you have to look forward to. Tomorrow, Trump and I believe RFK Jr. are going to take the stage, and that bounce that she thought she may have, all eyes will be on Trump and RFK Jr. tomorrow. Whatever she said tonight will be forgotten. It's gone. It's over. Tomorrow, if those two people do what I think they're going to do, if they get on stage and say I endorse him and I'm participating in his campaign, game over. Absolutely game over. All right, guys, I'm going to go have some late dinner and probably tune into some of the post-show and hear these people give us fake reviews of this thing. Thank you for tuning into 4 shows today. 4 shows, man. I feel like, I am a Jamaican. I was going to say, I feel like a Jamaican. 4 jobs, man. Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to get some much-needed rest. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Let me see. Let me just check Trump one more time, see if he's put anything else out. Oh, okay. Here's what you can do. I'll be going on Fox in a few minutes to discuss the Marxism in America. So go ahead and tune into Fox. Let's hear what he's got to say. I'm going to go get a plate of dinner and watch it myself. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a long day. Thanks. If you were here for more than one of these shows today, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow.